Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick video on the perception of progress, price transparency. We'll talk a little bit more about price discovery in a new video. This video is not only for the franchisees, but very much for the store level employees as well. It's very important with the way that this business is set up and the way that this business has always been to have a good understanding of the perception of progress. We got a review the other day that was very upsetting. It's one that is unacceptable on many different levels. But one of the things that was said in this review was that they sat there for an hour. So of course, I went back, looked at the video. The guy was there for 30 minutes. The car in front of him had a strip drain plug from the prior oil change place or whoever did the oil change first, and he felt as though he sat longer than he really should have. But that's not the point here. It doesn't matter that he lied about how long he sat there. It matters that he felt that he sat there for an hour. And how do we resolve this? We resolve this through the perception of progress. And one of the reasons why I have up on the screen is the 6 key customer interaction points for owners. Is these are the things that if you do all of these things well, you will have a high car count come 3 years from now. I promise you that. Do nothing else. Do no advertising. Do no Facebook. Do no Google Maps. Do nothing other than these things. And in 3 years, you will have a good car count just through word of mouth. Now, we'll talk a little bit about driving car count later in a different video, or we already have in several videos, but I will reiterate it as much as it takes to get through to everybody. But as far as being able to differentiate our service and make us different than any other quick lube, it comes down to these points right here. And one of the reasons we have a policy of greeting the customer within 10 seconds of their arrival is that is your initial chance to disrupt their monotony of sitting there. And so the perception of progress is sometimes verbal cues. The perception of progress sometimes is visual cues. It can be anything from pulling the door up in front of the car as it's waiting, because you know that the car that's in bay is going to be checked out in the next 2 to 3 minutes. It could be going up to the window and saying, hey, bay 1 is going to be 15 minutes, but bay 2 might be finished in the next 5. There's a lot of different ways that you can break up someone's uninterrupted attention, which makes 30 minutes feel like an hour. And it comes down to doing things that make the customer feel as though things are moving along and that there is progress happening. And so that's why, we have things in place like the 10-second rule. That's why it's important to have floor control and managing customers in bay, out of bay, even during the service. The flow chart, our proprietary flow chart allows for a very easy transition to be able to approach a car that is waiting and not get out of your routine of doing the oil change on the cars in bay. So that's what I wanted to start with, is the perception of progress. It's just super important to let everybody on facility know, on the property know that things are moving along, and just be transparent. And that's what's going to lead us to our next conversation, which is price transparency as an important factor in our business. And so one thing you'll never see if you ever post about oil changes on your Facebook at all, you'll eventually get hit by a Take 5 ad. I follow all of the Facebook brands, all of the oil change brands, so I get all of their ads, but none of them will talk about pricing on their ads. This is what makes our discount ads so effective, and why I strive to get everyone to be on the same page when it comes to doing full base price ads as opposed to percentage off, is price transparency. This industry has been plagued by companies that have just been very under the table, underhanded about what their pricing structure is. And so it's very important for us when we do our ads to be upfront about the base price. everybody has an understanding that the oil change structure is 5 quarts in a canister filter. That's been the case since, Henry Ford's car came off the lot. But it's important that when you do an ad, forget everything else. Forget what's going to stop them in their tracks when they're scrolling through their feed. Forget about the actual creative part of the ad. At its core, it's important to set the customer up to understand what it is you're trying to do. And so, while 50% off is fine for existing customers, you're not going to get new customers with percentage off ads because they don't know what your pricing structure is. So that is why we have every single employee lead off the service with, did anything in particular bring you in today? Did anything specific bring you in today? What brought you in today? Give them the opportunity to put it in front of you so that the employees have a chance to give price transparency. Price transparency cannot be overstated. Now, running ads, just to touch on price discovery to bow tie this conversation, there's this business will grow on its own if you're doing the 6 key customer interaction points. I know that for a fact. If you're not happy with the car count growth or you want things to go faster, the 3 things that I always talk about are price, experience, and atmosphere. And the only one that you can control on a day-to-day basis and put in front of people is price. And so we're in a space right now that is very mature. Everybody that's on the road has been getting oil changes for quite some time now. They need a reason to try you out. And the quickest way to get someone to give you a chance is through pricing. And the quickest way to get the numbers up is through price discovery. And price discovery is just a means of testing different ads to find out what moves the needle and what doesn't. And so right now, we're working on a $37 ad, which has been slightly better than $39 ad, but not as good as the $35. And we're going to continue to do these things to see where do we need to be car count wise for this to make sense for a particular store and to get capture of the market. We have some stores that have almost complete market capture, and we did it through systematic picking off of customers in the community through different various means, finding out what price points gets them to come in. And then you train your staff on selling those secondary offerings. That gets your ticket average up to more normal levels. And then all of a sudden you see your gross revenue balloon over time and your car count balloon exponentially. And that's really what we're looking for. So I appreciate everybody's time listening to this video. This is a very important thing at the store level. Perception of progress cannot be overstated. Price transparency cannot be overstated. Thank you.